One of the top trade targets this season is Elias Lindholm. Guaranteed to be traded from the Calgary Flames. An unexpected team in the Chicago Blackhawks may be in on him. And that's what we're going to be talking about in this video. If Elias Lindholm would be moved to the Chicago Blackhawks. Now, very, very quickly, before we get into this video, we noticed that 83% of you guys watching right now are not subscribed to the channel. So if you're looking for a spot, get all your Blackhawks news as it happens. You're in the right spot. Hit the sub button. It means a lot to us, and you won't miss out on any of the breaking news. But like I said, Elias Lindholm, one of the top trade targets of this season, is being moved nearly 100% sure. The the Calgary Flames are in no need to keep him. They're not in the playoff spot. They're in a bit of a tough situation, and he's a UFA. So the prime opportunity for him to get traded for a massive package coming back to the Flames. However, a lot of, playoff teams are in on him. Might be a big opportunity for those teams, but there's also some things that we need to discuss that may hold them back. So this is the article that Sportsnet released. One of Calgary's pending UFAs, the expectation is that center Elias Lindholm will be dealt by the March 8th trade deadline for a solid return. Then this is from Adam Vingan. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. I do sincerely apologize. But in this article, it says Lindholm's reputation could yield a significant return for the Flames. The Colorado Avalanche have been linked to Lindholm, who would slot in behind Nathan MacKinnon at center, and the Boston Bruins are another potential landing spot. Although Lindholm would strengthen a contender's lineup, his performance this season is not that of a player who will push a team over the top. And that is really the big part of this article. It's saying a lot about his stats, what he's done in the past, but not being able to strengthen the team's playoff lineup. That's what you're trading for a guy like this for, to help your lineup and go deeper into the playoffs. So that might hold some teams back if he is not worthy of making this playoff, a playoff push better for a certain team. So Noah, what do you think about this? Now, obviously, we know that making a playoff push is the reason you trade for a guy like Elias Lindholm. And he's been solid this year, even though he's struggling this season compared to the recent ones. What do you think about a guy like Elias Lindholm being traded to a contender? That's what the expectation is. But what do you think about it?
I mean, I've always been a fan of Elias Lindholm. Obviously, Calgary's not in the best position right now, so they're trying to trade everybody. But, I mean, I look at Colorado. Colorado, they have, I think, Ryan Johansson as their second-line center. I mean, I don't really know if he's a second-line center in this stage of the game. And Boston, who's kind of been, everybody's talking about their center depth and how they need to add another center. So, I mean, those two candidates look really, really good. But I think the big thing about Elias Lindholm is his defensive game. Everybody's saying how he put up 82 points, year after last, if I'm not mistaken. But I mean, he goes underrated defensively, like you said. You hauled up those stats there. I mean, if you want to pause the video and have a look, by all means, go for it. But I really like him, and I think he's going to be he will be traded on the trade deadline easily.
Yeah. Now, like I said though, he's going to be obviously traded at the deadline, and mainly contenders are going to be involved. But I really do think the Chicago Blackhawks should put their name into that pot, and I'll explain why. Because off the top of the mind, this is not really something the Blackhawks should be involved in. But we know the Blackhawks are not going to be doing too much in free agency, too much at the trade deadline per Kyle Davidson. He said they're going to be kind of taking it easy. They have a lot of what they want. However, Elias Lindholm being just paid under $5 million on a UFA contract in a down year where a lot of playoff teams may be hesitant of trading for him due to the team potentially not being, impacted positively by a player like Elias Lindholm due to him not being great this season. I'll pull up his stats here for the season. You can see 29 points, 44 games. Compared to other seasons, it's kind of on track, but his play on the ice is really what's been taking a hit. I'll pull up his Corsi like I did a minute ago. You can see the one highlighted there, 50%, a large decrease from the past two seasons with Calgary. Obviously due to part of the team being not great, but also due to, just the team, the individuals on the team not playing great either. So teams may be hesitant, but the Blackhawks have a perfect opportunity to trade for someone in a down year and possibly re-sign him. Obviously, we know the Blackhawks have a lot of cap space, and they have, even with the signings of Jason Dickinson, Nick Foligno, lots of cap space to go in the future. Not doing anything at the trade deadline, not doing anything in free agency, is going to lead to still a lot more money to be spent. Now, obviously, Connor Bedard needs the contract 2 years down the road. However, lots of time before that, and Elias Lindholm would be a guy that can help this roster. We know they need some offensive talent more than what they have right now, and Elias Lindholm would perfectly do that. He would help out in the offense, help out in the defense, and he's just a very good player overall. He's got a, his name has been out there a lot and being a very solid forward. Someone who's been in the trade market a few years now. But Noah, I want to know, what do you think about an Elias Lindholm on the Chicago Blackhawks? And we know this is not a move that seems right to say right now. You almost need to go in depth. But I think this could be a huge opportunity for the Blackhawks if they do something.
I don't like it, and it's not very often we disagree on stuff, but I don't like it. Elias Lindholm, he's like we said before, he's a very good, very talented player, but I think the cost, he's going to be at least a first round pick and a prospect. I don't think the Blackhawks can afford to do that. Obviously, they're trying to keep as many young players, keep as many picks as they can, trying to rebuild, trying to build around the core that they're going to build from within. I don't like it. I think they should go in a complete other direction, to be completely honest with you.
It does make sense. The picks and the prospects going to be what Calgary's wanting. They're kind of in the stage that the Blackhawks were in a few years ago, where they have some top talent. They're not going in the direction they want to. They're probably going to get rid of them. We need teams names like Chris Tanev, Elias Lindholm, other guys that. Yeah, like the guys that are like going to be moved, it's almost a guarantee at this point that they will be, and that the Flames are going to be looking for prospects, looking for picks. So I do understand the Blackhawks not really willing to give up their players for that matter.
Yeah, I would rather them go after, if you want to talk about the Flames, I'd rather them go after like a Dylan Dubé, sort of, who's kind of also been in kind of some trade talks. Obviously, his role in Calgary is a little bit diminished. He's not. I think he wants to be a second line top six forward, I should say, rather than a second line top six forward. And I think the Blackhawks will be able to give that to him. Obviously, their roster is, as we know, not great, and I think they could use any bit of that's the best way of putting it. I think they could use any bit of offensive talent there. I think he's a free agent next year as well, if I'm not mistaken. So I think the Blackhawks could maybe swing a trade for that. Bring him in, maybe pair him with Connor Bedard. Dylan Dubé was, a pretty decent offensive forward for Calgary and in junior. Not exactly where he played in junior, but I like Dylan Dubé more than Elias Lindholm, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah, it's kind of a battle of, you don't want to give up your prospects to a team who's also looking for them, for a guy who, in Elias Lindholm, is older than majority of the prospects, majority of, the core of both of these teams, really. Even though he is 29 years old, that's not too old, but his production has been kind of up and down, you can see, too. Like in the first year at Calgary, 78 points, 54 and 47 in the two following, then back up to 82, 64 last year, and currently on a pace for around 40 to 50 once again. So, the Blackhawks, I think it would be a move they could make, whether it be for a few years, flip him again once, the time comes, or even be a third team into a deal and take some cap, even though he's not making very much. Just say a team like the Maple Leafs who are looking for him. Very unlikely, however, but get 50% from another team and then the other 50% of that to the Blackhawks. Maybe work out something like that. But I do think in the back of my mind somewhere, Elias Lindholm would work on this Blackhawks team if only if he were extended. Now, what's the odds of this happening? I think very unlikely. But it's just intriguing that this could, in some sense of the imagination, work out for the Blackhawks. But I want to know what you guys think down below. Obviously, something that we're just kind of thinking of, very unlikely to happen. However, it would be kind of interesting if we see the Blackhawks name out there involved in a trade for Elias Lindholm, or someone like Elias Lindholm in this sense, this sense of what we're talking about. But let me know what you think. Let us know what you think. We like reading them. We like going back and forth, getting a bit of conversation. But that's all we got. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to give the video a like. Make sure to hit the sub button as well if you did enjoy. But that's all we got. We're signing out. Thanks for watching. See you later.